Hello again, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we are doing deep fried Mang Kuang Kuih or deep fried yam bean kuih. Now, kuih is a Hokkien or Teochew term that refers to a variety of snacks or dessert foods. But first, look at this chubby little kitten. Oh my god. She's just chilling like a villain every single day, or sunbathing. What a life. Anyway, so Mang Kuang is a Hokkien or Teochew term for yam bean. Now, I don't actually know where this recipe came from, but it's been passed down from my grandmother to my aunties, and my mom picked it up at some point. It may be a unique family recipe, but I don't think so. But growing up in my small hometown in Miri, Sarawak, there's not too many families who do this. So yeah. So first up, stir fry some shrimp. These are super tiny shrimps. You can substitute these for larger shrimps or pork mince. Any sort of meat will do actually. Just brown them and you're ready to go. Next up, sweat and brown your garlic mince. As you can see here, there's quite a bit of garlic. Once there's some color on your garlic, just dump all your yam bean into the wok and just sweat it and cook it till it's soft. As you can see here, you can julienne or matchstick cut your yam bean if you have the skills. We don't, so we just used a big grate. A mandolin slicer would do the job just fine. Now my mom's just adding normal vegetable oil here, just cause she felt like there's just too much yam bean in the wok. Now if you're wondering what's the recipe for this recipe, there is none. Everything's been passed down from one generation to the next, and everything is by taste, so agak-agak lah. So my mom just added about 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce and maybe another 2 tablespoons of light soy sauce. Now she doesn't want me telling everyone this one, but she added a little bit of MSG to it, maybe half a teaspoon. Now she's also adding about 2 tablespoons of sugar here, just to balance out the flavors. As for salt, we should have added more. This is about 2 tablespoons, should have increased to 3. Now continue stirring it and make sure they don't stick or burn at the bottom. And whatever you do, make sure you do not add water to this mix. Yam bean alone has a lot of water content in them, so they will sweat a lot of juices out. And make sure you test as you're cooking it, just to make sure the flavors are there, the seasoning's right. We like them salty but a bit sweet, but it really is up to you. Now that's finely grinded white pepper. It's abundant in East Malaysia because that's where we produce it. But if you can't find it, I guess black pepper will do. Now when you see a small pool of juice forming at the bottom, it's about ready. Now add the stir-fried shrimps you had before into the mix and just keep stirring for a few more minutes before it's done. And this is probably the stage where you should fine-tune the seasoning and make sure everything's good to go. Since this will be deep fried with batter, it can be saltier. As you'll see later, we needed more salt. Once you've thoroughly mixed everything, it's done. And this is what it should look like. About there. Now, I remember when my grandma used to make them. She would put minced pork in it, so it's really up to you. My mom just prefers shrimps over pork mince. Ah yes, never ever waste food. Scrape off any bits you can find. Ta-da! You're halfway there. Now to mix the batter. But first, what is Laksa looking at? She is always staring at crevices and stuff. We have no idea what she's up to. Ants, maybe? Spiders? Insects? Anyway. Now, for the batter, we will be using just plain flour. And also a pineapple. Nah, jokes. It's just there. So the batter is just water and plain flour with some seasoning. Salt, a bit of sugar, some pepper, and MSG if you want to. Ha! Mix it till you get a nice gooey, slightly watery consistency. And yeah. Next, heat up your oil. We are using canola oil because it has a high smoking point. Now you might be wondering, what the heck is this ladle? This was made by my uncle using empty soup cans and some sort of metal. It's made specifically to cook this dish. Now, my hometown is really small. That means everyone is pretty resourceful. If we can't find anything we need, we just make them somehow. If you don't have anyone who can make it for you, a normal ladle is fine. You can just use a normal soup ladle. Just make sure it's big enough. Now, once the oil is hot enough, be careful with this step, but put a scoop of the batter at the base, and then put a scoop of the fillings inside. How much depends on you. And put another scoop of the batter on top, just to cover everything up. And then just gently drop it into your hot oil. And there it is. Now, I'm not sure, but I think my grandparents might have invented this thing. I'm not sure. It's mainly just because they wanted a good, nice, cylindrical shape to the kuih. So once you left it in there for about 3 or 4 minutes, it's time to scoop it out. So my mom's using a knife here. You can use anything thin and heat resistant to basically just give it a good poke and get it out into the hot oil by itself. Ta-da! The more you use this makeshift ladle, the easier it is to get it out. It just is. Now, all you do now is repeat that same process for about 40 times, maybe 50. Yeah, it can be laborious, but it'll be worth it. Now, how much batter and how much filling you put in there really is up to you. Some people like a lot of batter, surprisingly. Some people love lots of filling. As you can see here, it's pretty stuck. If you're using a normal ladle, you won't be having this problem. Or sometimes it just means that it's slightly undercooked and you just need to wait a few more minutes. Now, some people like the batter a bit crispier, so you can add a bit, I'll say half a teaspoon or a teaspoon of cornstarch into your batter. But just be aware, if you do put in corn flour into the mix, when it gets cold, it can get pretty hard. As for my household, we just like it with plain flour. And as you can see here, once it gets a nice golden brown color, it's done. Yay! Now this is the hard part. Do not touch it or you will burn your face off. You will need to wait for maybe 10 minutes or so, or maybe 15 minutes, just to let everything cool down. And as you can see here, even after a 5 or 10 minute wait, it's still piping hot inside, so just be careful, let it cool down before you dig into it. And also use paper towels or a strainer to get rid of the excess oil. Now, I don't know if this is a thing, but we grew up eating the Mang Kuang Kuih with our homemade chili sauce. The chili sauce is pretty simple. It's just chili, white rice vinegar, and a whole lot of garlic, and some sugar, and a bit of salt. So, just blend everything together in a blender. And voila! There you have it. Our homemade Mang Kuang Kuih. Yums! Oh, check this out, guys. This is from Uminono Sushi, and this is a soy sauce pipette. How classy is that? My mom didn't season it enough, so we had to add soy sauce. So that's it for today, guys. I'm sorry if you've seen this video and you think to yourself, man, I wish I can try that, but I'm sorry. Give it a try. I know it's a lot of work, but it'll be worth it. In the meantime, look at this cat. Alright, see you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.